If you're using an old sales process, even if you are getting clients, it's likely that when you do get them, you're unable to do great work. In this episode, I'm going to show you a much better way, much better process to engage clients in advisory work. Welcome to your Consulting Business Podcast. My name's Russell Pearson, and this is episode number 48. Well, let's hope it's 48 because I've been getting it wrong the last couple of weeks. So fingers are crossed. But if you are a consultant or an expert who's selling their expertise or even thinking of about to be selling their expertise, then you are in the right place because the Your Consulting Business Podcast is all about helping you do just that and growing your business through the process. I personally believe the consulting business, the advisory business, is the best business you can be in on earth. It has nothing but choice. You have choice of the clients you want to work with, choice of the hours you want to work, how you want to deliver. Nothing but choice. And with that choice, you also get ownership, accountability, and responsibility for actually building the business the way you want, which gives you an ultimate lifestyle where you can do what you want when you want, as long as you're responsible enough to do what you need to do when you need to do it. So today I want to be talking about how to engage clients through an advisory process and how it's different than doing a normal services process, because when you sell a service, usually it's a case of delivery. We're coming in to deliver something with a client. When we come in as an advisor, we really need to be positioned to be able to hit the ground running as an advisor, which means that we have to have the trust and authority to help those clients make decisions from day one. And that's all part of the sales and buying process. So let's talk about the different variations. There's know, like, and trust. Now, that's normally been a marketing activity. For those who don't know about know, like, and trust, it's KNOW, know. You know who they are, or they know you, the know, like, and trust process. The original concept of this is that someone needs to know who you are to ensure that they have the opportunity to decide if they like you. And if they like you, they may choose to work with you, but they won't give you a lifetime of business or really long contracts until they trust you. Now, what's interesting about that process, and a lot of people call it marrying through marketing, it's like if you were to walk up to someone on the street and say, hey, let's get married, they might look at you weird and walk the other way. But if you approach them in the right place, in a place that's appropriate, so let's say some form of dating scene, then you can connect with them and say, would you like to go on a date? And during that date or that courtship, you get to see if you like each other, and then ideally, if you trust each other, you may actually get married, right? So that's the old concept. Now, the challenge, I guess, with the know, like, and trust process is most people, especially service providers, are thinking it's about the client knowing them, or the prospect knowing them, the prospect liking them, and then the prospect trusting them. But when it comes to advisory, it has to be that two-way relationship. And in fact, almost more on the side of the advisor. It is more useful for you as the advisor to know who they are. You got to know who they are. You got to decide, do you like them? Do you want to work with them? Do you want to spend your time? Because your time is the most valuable resource you have. Is this a person you want to spend time with? And then number 3, do you trust they're not going to waste that time? Do you trust they're going to do what they need to do to get the results from your advice? And so it's as much an audition, in fact, it's probably more so an audition for an advisory business, a business of expertise, than any other business. Which means it's really important that you are looking through that lens rather than looking from the lens of putting your hand out and say, please choose me. So know, like, and trust is certainly part of that. What rides over the top of know, like, and trust is 3 other pieces. We've got awareness. This is more about the buying journey, the process people have to go through. There's awareness, there's consideration, and there's decision. All right? So people are aware of you. It's kind of like the know. People are making considerations about you. That's very much like the like. And then people are making decisions, which is a little bit like the trust, though they can make decisions when they're in like as well. Now, I don't particularly want a person who is definitely someone I can help choosing me, all right? I want us to work together. I want us to collaborate on a decision. So I don't want to be sending out proposals. I don't want to be sight unseen. I don't want to be sending out quotes in that space. I want to be working with that client even through the buying process so they can understand our value in helping them make decisions. So again, it's that same lens. Like the awareness then needs to be about the prospect or lead. The consideration comes down to, do I want to work with this person as well? And the decision is yours to make the offer. And so that's why within this buying process, you do not want to make the offer too early. I think that's a huge mistake a lot of a lot of consultants are making, is that they will actually go to market and tell people about their services expecting that people are ready to make a buying decision. But they're not. They've got awareness, consideration, and then the decision that need to go in that order. So if they've just become aware of you, they haven't had the opportunity for consideration. And I think that's key when you're designing what your sales process looks like. Now, I tend to have a really strong 6-step pipeline process that takes people from stranger through to client. And it does sit underneath these 3 pieces quite clearly. So I have connect and qualify. So connect is really the awareness. I am aware of someone, we have met in some fashion, like connected on a social media account, we've met at a networking function, I've met them. I've spoken to them enough or understood enough about them to qualify that they could possibly be someone I want to work with. So it's actually a little bit already moving into the consideration space already. I usually then want to invite them to something because I'm not ready to offer them. I'm considering right now, is this a person that not only I can help, that I should be helping? Sometimes when there's a certain client comes along and they're screaming out for help, we're not the right person to help them for so many different reasons. And so the consideration phase needs to be as much for you as it is for them as the client. So I invite them to a thing, whether that be an event, a resource, something, so I can get to know them a little bit more. Through that process, we have a chat of some sort, we have a conversation, just a short conversation, just to get to know what's going on for them. I work with people in the world of business, so I tend to talk about what their business is doing. But for you and your expertise, you'll talk about that. What's going on for them in their world. And at that point, you may hear symptoms that they're actually talking about that you know that you can help them with. Now, this is, again, not the point to go offer. This is not the point to sell at them, because that's what it's selling at them rather than collaborating the sale with them. So if it seems like they might be able to actually use your help, then you want to invite them to a next step. So if you invite them to an event or a resource or an association or a community or whatever it is, you've got to know them a little bit, you've got a chance to speak to them. You understand they may have some challenges. Would they like to talk about it? Would they like to have an intentional conversation to see if now is the right time? And this is key because I call this step priority. Is there a priority for them to do something about it now? If there's not a priority for them to do something about it now, I don't want to, and you shouldn't want to as the advisor, to be chasing this person for 6 to 18 months. That's the fastest way to put you into, at best, a service category, if not an ambulance chaser. What we're trying to do is stay at that advisory level. So we need to see if now is the right time, because if it's not the right time, release them back into the wild and have another conversation with them later on. We're not spending a lot of time doing this. 10, 15-minute conversations, you can find out very clearly, is there a gap that they have? Is there a place that they are and there's a destination they want to get to? Can you help bridge that gap? Do they identify that they have a problem at all? What is that problem they talk about? Usually it's symptomatic rather than ever being about the cause, because most people are not problem aware down to the cause, otherwise they would fix it. But we can work with people who are symptomatic because we can help diagnose them, because we are the expert, right? So having diagnostic is a really useful step, but I don't even bring that in until I understand that they have a priority to fix it. They want to solve it now. Because if people have got I've got a problem, you can see the gap, is this do you want to, is there a priority to do something about this? Not really. I mean, maybe next year I want to maybe take a step then. If it's not important to them, it's probably going to be very difficult to help them make decisions and help them take steps to enable them to fix the problem. So I would just leave that. You want to work with people who are ready to change, ready to take those steps. So we get the 3 ticks on priority, and then we go, all right, fantastic. Let's have a look at what that might look like. How can we potentially help you? Let me diagnose what's really going on so we can create some antidotes. Now, you may have productized everything you've got. You may have all the answers. You've created a matrix and all sorts of different cool things in your business. But my suggestion for you is to take those and put them behind your back. Don't bring them out, because it's not about you and it's not about your process. It's about the client in front of you and what they are looking for help with. So if they tell you they're looking for help with A, you don't go, well, A's not the issue. You really need B. All right? You're not at that point. You're not working with you. Why give them the advice now? You're not being paid for it. All right? Advice is valuable. Give it when you are receiving remuneration. Yeah? So we don't need to say that. We go, okay, I hear you want advice with A, or I hear you want help with A. And what do you want to get to? S. I'm using the alphabet for this. The bridge from A to S. All right, well, that's a few steps to get to S. All right, excellent. Well, I think that we could probably put something together that can help you do that. Let's talk about and collaborate what those steps might be. And then you work with them. You work with the client to actually design out the program or the offer or whatever it is. And if you've designed with them, guess what? They like it because they made it. They're much easier. It's much more likely they're going to say yes to it. But also, you were involved in the process. So it wasn't just what they wanted. It was your expertise lending a hand to help them take a step and make a decision. And what I love about the process is when they do say yes, is that it sets you up for success when you're doing the work. Because as an advisor, it is your opportunity to help people discover what they want to do, how they want to do it, and then take steps to getting it done, whatever it is. And if you've already started that trend through the sales process, you will continue it into the next opportunity. And so, undercovering or over the top of this, we've got know, like, and trust. We've got awareness, consideration, and decision. And throughout the end of the detail of these, we're connecting with people, qualifying them, inviting them into our world, having a conversation with them, seeing if the priority is now, and if so, collaborating with them on the offer. If you follow that process, you're going to be in a situation where you will be able to do great work because they already trust you. That you're able to do work because you are coming in with authority and they respect your expertise. If you're doing this process, you're going to find it so much easier to get more clients more regularly, consistently, whenever you want them. If you're interested to learn more about the different things that I discussed, not just sales, there's also the branding side of things, how you can actually get a better position in the market. There is also marketing and digital marketing, what you can be doing with that. In fact, if you are watching this in a timely fashion, we've got our website, the Future of Website Strategy event coming up very, very soon. You'll be able to find it somewhere. In fact, Alfred, put that link in the comments or in the show notes, and then ideally you'll be able to find it there. We're going to be talking about what is the future for website design. Now, I've been working in that space for 27 years. I came through that digital space. We had an agency that actually did a lot of digital marketing. In fact, that was the majority of what we did. And so the changes that have happened over the last 30 years, and especially the last 2 years, have been dramatic, which means that you can do things so much faster, so much more affordably. But with that acceleration, means that the strategy behind it needs to be even more specific, because if we're accelerating bad performance, we're basically digging a hole faster. If you've liked what you heard here, subscribe. I'd love you to go and check out some of our other episodes. We've got all sorts of things we talk about that are around marketing, sales, growing your advisory business, making sure that as a consultant or as an expert in whatever you do, you could even be a trainer, that you have what you need to build the business and life of your dreams. Until next time, my name is Russell Pearson. Stay passionate, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.